ladies and gentlemen, thank you for viewing this little video. The idea here is to give you a very quick walkthrough of some of the newer features of our Q series. So it's not meant to be an in-depth thing, but just to walk you through what this guy features that's a little bit different than the RS Plus. Now, one of the things I want to point out, and it's particularly if you're already familiar with the predecessor of this guy, our RS Plus series, is this truly is a continuation of the RS Plus, not a major overhaul. And if you take a look at the home screen here, you can see what I'm talking about, because yes, we still have the 6-pack of buttons that have some of the major features like on an RS Plus, the shortcut section down here, the on-screen source selector. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same screen, just an updated look for the user interface. But again, the idea of the RS Plus continues on here. So that's good news for people who are already familiar with using that panel. They can fire this up and know what they're looking at. So that's good news there. Some other things though, if we're talking about the user interface, the floating toolbars. So you see I've got these buttons here now, and if I give this guy a press, oh, look at that, expands. Now I can still move it up and down, but now because it's much more easily collapsible, it's a lot more convenient to get this thing out of my way and then bring it up when I need to. We've also added a couple of additional buttons to it, including a quick way to get to the embedded apps. So that's nice. The favorite source button, that's this guy right here, where you can quickly get to whatever port you've set up as the favorite source. The running apps button, so you can quickly close out of whatever embedded apps are running. And then because we have newer hardware, because we're using Android 11 on this, the combination of those two things means that this guy is particularly snappy. So if I go to the OP, I've got an OPS installed, so if I go to that and boom, we're there. So like I said, it is significantly snappier. Not that the RS was necessarily slow, but that's not a very fair comparison. So yeah, so then bam, right back to the home screen. So yes, a very snappy system, getting you from point A to point B as quickly and efficiently as possible. So that's fantastic. One thing also, unfortunately, that I can talk about but can't show you, because this is a production panel, it's not a sample, but this is still early firmware. So we do have, I'm going to go ahead and exit and log out of the home screen. We do have user profiles, so being able to add individual user profiles, that is going to be here. It's not in this build yet, because I can't show it to you, but I did want to point out that that is something that is going to be happening here, just not in this particular build. So you can have individual user profiles. So if you have multiple teachers in multiple rooms using the same panel, you could certainly leverage the individual profiles. So the home screen and the way things are set up could be tailored to each individual user. Nothing but zeros on that board. Speaking of tailoring the experience, here's another thing that we added. Now we had on the RS Plus 2 themes, what I call the minimalist theme, which is the one that I happen to prefer, but that's just my opinion. And then the colorful one that I often refer to as the crayon theme. Here we got a few more. Go to theme. And whoa, we got all kinds of fun stuff here. How about a little tropical theme? And then make that happen. Wow, kind of nifty. Okay, so yeah, so we've added a little bit more lively presentation to the home screen, so you can have some fun with that. Now you can't add themes, but what you can still do is you can still, if I go back there, you can still choose your own wallpaper, choose your own logo. So those things are still possible. So you can't add necessarily a theme, but you can still add the things that would have basically correspond to a theme. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back because I happen to like that. Also on the hardware side, other differences. One, of course, I don't have it on this one, but there is going to be a modular camera that will fit into a slot on the top. So that's a good option, especially if you're looking to get into a hybrid scenario and having that camera and having the option of having it there. USB Type-C makes an appearance. This is really cool. We've got 2 ports, one on the front and then one on the rear I/O. The one on the front is actually powered. It will deliver 65 watts out. Now, why that's significant is if you have, like, say, an ultra-portable laptop that's standardized on USB Type-C, and if it supports being powered via USB-C, then one cable gets you video, sound, touch, and power. Again, so for devices that can support that, that is a very, very convenient way to get a device like that connected to the panel, because you only need one cable to make all that happen. So that's in addition to the hardware. We go from Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6. Nothing for me to show you on that. Just we go to faster Wi-Fi. So there's that. And then the speakers, 15 watts a channel for the RS Plus, which was actually pretty good. I mean, the industry standard for speakers is oftentimes like 10 watts a channel, but it was 15 on the RS Plus. Now we go to 20. So 20 watts a channel. So these speakers can get even louder, so they can fill an even larger space. Which is nice. So there are some changes to the hardware besides the guts. Things that a person wouldn't necessarily see, although it is a lot snappier, as I demonstrated. But that USB Type-C, Wi-Fi 6, a little bit more juice on the speakers, optional modular camera. So yeah, I mean, we've taken everything that was great about the RS Plus, and we've continued that on. So the Q series is kind of is the next generation of that whole idea. So for users that are already familiar with that RS Plus, they'll still be able to get in here and know what's going on. And new users, of course, very easy to use interface, just as easy to get into this as the RS Plus was. So that's a little walkthrough to show you some of the new and wonderful things about the Q series. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.